The World God Only Knows, Episode 9. For Keima's character development, this episode is probably the most important one out of any, and will be referenced a lot later on, and if Season 4 is made. The episode continues with Keima and Chihiro on the roof. Keima, being as smooth as ever, goes in for the kiss, and in doing so, Chihiro reveals that it's her first time. What this means is that if she had a goddess in her, this would be her second time, not her first. So Keima immediately thinks up a plan to stop with Chihiro and go to Ayumi, who has to have the remaining goddess. But as soon as he comes up with a plan of action, he completely ignores it and asks Chihiro why she even agreed to go on a date with him in the first place if she didn't remember the conquest. Chihiro replies that she had liked him since the spring, which was way before his conquest of her. He then further asks why she even likes him at all, to which she simply replies, "You don't need any reason to like someone." Then Keima tells her that he doesn't actually like her and that this whole scene was simply a prank to get back at her for making fun of him. Meanwhile, Ayumi sees all this happen and gives Keima a swift kick that sends him flying. Then the rest of the anime is Keima and Elsie building up the plans and vintage a little more, and then it ends with Keima starting his reconquest of Ayumi. Now, on to the changes from the manga. There were some pretty big changes from the manga, and I have to wonder why they left him out. First off, we have Keima's internal monologue after he finds out Chihiro isn't the goddess, isn't as heartless in the manga. Other than that, everything else is pretty spot on, and I think they did a great job with that scene. A short cameo by Elsie as Kanon is left out. The conversation with Keima and Elsie is cut short and they don't show the other band members. Chihiro is left out, again. Also, all of Keima's research on the history of the school and the library with Shiori is left out. Now, without spoiling things to come, I can't really tell you why this is important, but let's just say it has some pretty obvious foreshadowing to a later arc. I'd recommend you go and check it out. It starts on chapter 169 at page 10 and ends in chapter 170. And finally, the meetup with Chihiro and Ayumi is left out. They don't really say much to each other anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And that's it for episode 9. I imagine based on the next episode preview that the next 2 episodes will focus on the Ayumi reconquest and leaving one last episode to wrap everything up. Or they'll just rush everything into one episode, wrap things up in episode 11, and have a filler episode for episode 12, like in the past 2 seasons, which I really hope they don't do.